Welcome back everyone to the third devlog for the Untitled Dynamic Politics mod. I have a little announcement at the end of the video that I would like to share, so stick around for that. There's been a lot of work recently, especially on Austria and Italy specifically, especially Italy. We got Giacomo Matteotti in power with a custom flag and everything, and we had this, I think. Actually, no, I didn't show this last time, so this is new actually. Quite a deal of this is new. Because before this was the Kingdom of Austria, now it's the Austrian Empire. This used to be the Republic of Italy, I think. No, it used to be the People's Republic of Italy, but I changed it to the Workers' Republic of Italy, and it's now actually like a republic. It's not the autocratic communist dictatorship that it was before. Additionally, there are some new ideology icons that I've implemented for the sake of, testing. They have like a little pink background, so just to let people know that they're temporary. They're temporary. So one of the new mechanics I've decided to add is heavily inspired by, I think, What, Why, How's election simulator video that was shared to me by a team member on this mod by the name of Dead Kitten. I thought it had some pretty interesting ideas, so I wanted to try and implement them, at least partially, inside of this mod. And one of the few things I really wanted to add immediately was scandals. So basically a scandal would just damage the popularity and reputation of a party. Right now it's pretty much random, but it's proportional to the party popularity of the particular party. So imagine this: you get an event like this. Right now there's no localization, but as you can, this is a communist scandal for the Communist Party. As you can see, it will decrease the communist popularity by I think it's 15%. Yeah, I think so. I thought it was at 20%. I can't remember. Probably something like that. And so it'll damage their reputation a little bit. Additionally, there's some other effects that happen if it is the ruling party. As you can see, it will also take away political power. So it could really slow you down in some aspects. It could be really bad for you, potentially. Eventually, there's going to be a mechanic called regime approval, which will basically be the measure of a regime's approval from the public. And that will influence or sometimes stop events altogether from firing. So if you have a really high approval, it's very unlikely that people will uncover a scandal or scandals to really happen in the first place. On top of the addition of scandals so far, we've also got the addition of a civil insurrection crisis, which can escalate into civil war, which is basically going to be the main way that this mod does civil wars. So for the requirements would be to be under 20% stability, so I'm going to have to remove a lot of stability. And the dissent change rate has to be over 2% per week. So your nation is going to have to be extremely, upset at you. Now, I've gone ahead and changed the code so that you always have 3 weekly change in stability. And now, as you can see, there is a civil war brewing. Now, eventually there's going to be some decisions that allow you to delay it and do shit that can perhaps quell the people. But of course, you're going to need political power to do it in order to prevent it, or manpower, or equipment, or whatever you need to send, I don't know, troops in, or do speeches to quell the populace, stuff like that. Eventually, I also want to add it so that you can actually, become the people that are revolting, but that's not a priority right now. I didn't mention this in any of the previous videos, but there are opposition events. They regularly occur and are the main source of how your nation drifts away from ideologies and how AI will slowly begin to evolve. You can either choose to be stiff and just sacrifice some stability and get some dissent in return for not drifting, or you can drift and get stability for free. This is probably one of the ways you could easily get out of a civil war, is by just, not have a stick up your ass. And as you can see, the Civil War has been avoided. I might nerf that because it's obviously way too frequent right now, but balancing is a task of its own. I forgot to mention this, so I'm going to splice it in. The traditionalists have been renamed to the reactionaries, and the democratic socialists have been renamed to just the socialists, and the Bolsheviks have been renamed to the communists. Just to simplify it a bit and make it a little bit less confusing. Anyhow, now on to the announcement. The working title of this mod is now going to be Paix Dormante, which is, God, I sound really dumb saying that, but I'm not really good at pronouncing French words. But that's going to be the name of that's going to be the working title of the mod now, and I am sure on screen you'll be seeing the logo for it right now, which was also created by Dead Kitten, so thanks to them. I think in the next devlog I will probably talk more about the lore, so be aware for spoilers. because of course this is a publicly sourced mod. Anyone can download and play it, so just be aware when I'm talking about this, there's bound to be some spoilers now from this point onward. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this discussion, and I'll see you in the next devlog.